Hello, YouTube. I'm back again. Uh, Before I get started, I want to I want to give props out to the angry prepper. Much respect. I know you fighting a battle that seems like you might not win. Much respect. You stand for your commitment. And I also like to thank Prepper Tribe, who on Tuesday had his 1 year anniversary on YouTube, and I was lucky enough to appear on this panel for a minute. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that was on the panel that was there that day uh, with me. So bear with me. I had to write a few names down because I couldn't remember everybody. Uh, Ghetto Prepper, Prepper Tribe, Just Josh, Hutch Homestead, Prepping Outside the Box, Arkansas Living, The Voice, uh, Prepper for Life, uh, Nisi Tribe, and Heartland Survival. Okay, I'd like to thank those guys for also having me on there too. So let me get started. Hi, Lori, how you doing? And hey, Purple City Prepper, how you doing? So let me get started. See, I said this is going to be history repeating again, which is true. History is repeating itself again. And I know I'm older than most of the people that watches my channel, and I know a lot of you might not remember, but try to remember back in the 70s. See, everybody say the 70s was so much better, so great, well, it was for me. I was young then. I had to, the bull by the horns back in those days. I was in my prime, I was teenager and stuff like that. The 70s, like in, just getting out of high school and all that stuff. But look here. In the 70s was terrible financially. It was horrible. I remember the 70s. I remember back in I think it was 1973. I was working a job and I was making $1.90 an hour. $1.90 an hour in 1973. I mean, by the time I left that job, I was making $2.10, but I was making $1.90. And I thought I was rich. I was looking toward the future. I said, man, I could make a lot of money over the years. I can always make $100 a week. I really $1.90, and that's before taxes. After taxes, and you work all week, and you barely got $100. That's including overtime. And people don't understand what they doing now is about the same as when we had what they call runaway inflation in the 70s. Man, it was hard. I mean, because like I say, from 19, let's say, in 73, wages was low, but everything was low. Cost of living was low. I could go to a ball game for a quarter, sit in the bleachers for a quarter at the Cleveland Municipal Stadium. But shoot, by the time 1976 rolled around 3 years later, I was making $2.30, $2.35. But inflation was just going through the roof by then. All that $2.30 didn't mean anything because everything was going up. That's why they had runaway inflation. That's what we got right now. See, now we didn't know how they were going to deal with it. We didn't know it was going to end. We never did. Now they say this stuff that's happening right now with the price of meat and all this stuff is gonna, cause meat's up 25% if you eat beef like me. I'm a lover. I'm a beef eater. I love a good steak. I love some good hamburgers. Cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers. But it's running away, and I don't know if we can survive this like we did in 1970s. See, like I say, because that's my era, 70s, 80s, 90s, because I lived through all that, and I'm living through this now. And I'm telling you for a fact, it's going to get hard. If you're not putting away stuff, you're not prepping, you're going to be like those people that y'all heard about. That a lot of people sit back and laugh when I tell you, I knew people that was eating cat food and dog food to survive. I knew people that was eating horse meat. People say horse meat. I never heard of it. You're not in the big city. But they were eating horse meat. Guy would come around in this truck the meat truck and the little freezer thing, and he was selling people horse meat. People was eating horse meat. I seen it firsthand, and I seen it. If you, we were lucky. My father was working at the steel plant, but they went on strike that one time, and that was hard on the family. We had to go to the food shelter and get food and stuff like that. That was hard. But the government was giving people cheese and butter in bags, for people that were hungry. See, I lived through all that. Like I said, I was working a little job, but like I say, it wasn't nothing that I could retire on. But I'm just saying, inflation went crazy because back in them days, we could go to the straight to the bakery. It would the Tip Top Bakery, which is out of business now, and you can go. They had an outlet store. You can go there and buy 4 loaves of bread for $1. You know, like the people say 2 for $1, 3 for 50 cents. That was real back in them days. 2 for $1. Canned goods, they were 10 cent, 25 cent. But now everything is out. I mean, this if I was a time traveler and I came from the 1970s to now, I'll be in shock. I'll probably end up in a coma because I wouldn't be able to understand what was going on. Let's see. Hey Greta K. Hey MRS Male 269. Hey Herboard Nation, how you doing? How you guys? Let's see. Good afternoon, every grandpa, all the chat. Hope everyone is having a great day. Thank you. As long as I can go, as long as I have canned good, I guess you're right. Speaking the truth, yes, it's going weird. Cheese was good. Yeah, we used to cheese sandwiches, grilled cheese sandwiches. We get those 4 loaves of bread for $1, and we get a couple of those blocks because they came in blocks. It was just regular blocks of cheese, and all it said was cheese. That's it. It was like a brown cardboard box. It was wrapped in plastic on the inside. It just said cheese. We get that knife and we get that cheese, and we go out there and we get that government butter and grill you some cheese sandwiches. And that's what we lived on. It was good. Yep. I love government cheese, canned pork, and canned beef. Yeah, it was good. I mean, but see, that's what we had to do, and we didn't know any better. Like I was young, I was too busy doing my own thing back then to really understand what was really going on with this hyperinflation until the oil embargo when OPEC happened. See, people don't understand the ramification of OPEC because we still living with that today. See, people complain about gas prices today, how gas is up 60%. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's because of the Bushes. They control the gas. They control the gas prices. They oil people. They control the gas prices. If they want it high, they're gonna have it high. They had it under their administrations, and that's what they want to do. But I'm not gonna even get into that. Oil prices is up 60%. You look at the price of gasoline, it's just crazy. But anyway, like I say, history is repeating itself. And like I say, pretty soon they're gonna be out there giving us butter and cheese and stuff again to help us survive. And like I say, and like when Jimmy Carter was president, we had OPEC hit. That's when everything became out in the open. We knew it was inflation, but we never knew inflation was at 15%. 15%. See, you haven't seen nothing yet. What is it now? 5, 6, 7%? 15% inflation. And I think it was in 1978, which was crazy. Crazy. We had gas lines. And I know a lot of you don't believe America was like that. We had gas lines. Yeah. Yes. Yes, nation. They made the best grilled cheese sandwiches. Yep. And I love that cheese. But they took it away. Hey, Ronnie Brown. But like I said, and we can go back to that. Like that again, we didn't have exactly soup lines, but we had kitchens. We didn't have kitchens. We didn't have soup lines. We had kitchens where you can go in the afternoon and get something to eat for those that don't have any food now. That's where we got all these food banks and stuff now. So this won't happen again. Like today here, they're giving away from 1 to 4 food, for the holidays, turkeys and all that stuff. But you got to pre-register. They're going to have it at the Cleveland Food Bank. Yeah, but I say before we had that, you were just on your own. Neighbor had to feed neighbor. My mother fed many a kid. My mother fed many a kid from the neighborhood that didn't have anything. But luckily, my father, the strike was over in like a week, and they were back to work, and they were making more money because higher inflation means higher paychecks, which means higher more inflation. That's how it goes. Higher the paycheck, the more they charge. Higher the paycheck, the more they charge. And that's the crazy thing about this. The more you make, the more you take. I know everybody heard about that. And like I said, and I lived through that, and I can see times are coming that way again. Let's see, what is this? Hey, Leo, how you doing? I remember all that not good times. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good times for some. I mean, it was okay. I mean, but I was so young. I knew it was gonna be better times because, like I say, I was, I was having a good time. I was in my teens then. But like I said, it was crazy. It was crazy times. The '70s was really, really crazy. It was crazy all over. Let me throw some out there that as I said, some people out here from Mike, I say from out west. I know you guys out in the Pacific Northwest. I know, especially in Washington State, y'all got record flooding out there. That's crazy. And up in British Columbia, I see up in Canada they having a lot of issues up there too. They didn't close the port of Vancouver, for what I understand. But you guys hang in there. I know in Seattle it's been raining for like 30 days already. I don't know. I don't think it's time for you guys to start building the ark. I know you got like 40 inches of rain, so you guys hang in there. And I just wanted to shout that out because I see a couple of people in the chats that's from the Northwest here. Yeah, because we supposed to get bad weather here starting tonight. It's supposed to go from sunshine to rain to snow. In the snow belt, they're supposed to get like a foot. It's gonna range anywhere from 1 to 4 inches. I'm not on the snow belt, but I'm close to the edge of the snow belt. So we might get an inch or two here, and they might get a foot out there. Because the farther east you go here, up in the northeast Ohio, the more snow you get. And I'm on the east side, so we're gonna get some snow. Yeah. Okay, so let me get back to talking about the hyperinflation that we had that's coming again now. See, our problem started. Everybody say I blame everything on Nixon. I don't blame everything on Nixon, but Nixon was in charge, just like Biden is in charge. The head that wear the crown. It was Nixon, Ford, and Carter. Those three guys really screwed up America back in the days. I lived through three screwed up presidents, three in a row, and they damn near sank this country, you know. So it was just terrible. And then, and I know a lot of you that's my age might remember this from Ford. Whip inflation now. Remember that? WIN? Whip inflation now. Gerald Ford said that. I was like, what's that mean? That's like the war on drugs, you know? But I mean, it was just crazy. And Carter, he just didn't have a clue, but he did do one thing. He hired the right people. But I mean, it was just terrible. I mean, this is all deja vu to me. It's like I lived through this before. Hey, Corsair trainers, how you doing? It's like I lived through this before, you know. So I'm just saying, this is all happened before with all this stuff. Now, this inflation is going to go away because, see, we nowhere near the inflation rate that I lived through back then in the 70s. I mean, what the difference is here is that we have a supply chain issue. See, back then we had an oil issue, OPEC. We had the gas lines and stuff like that. My day was Wednesday. I used to have to go get my gas on Wednesday with my little thing, my little card, and we had to get gas. But like I say, this is gonna clear up. You know, it always do. But like I say, it's just gonna be hard on a lot of people because we're not getting the help from the government like we did last time. At least they gave us food. This time they fighting over checks. And then the difference from back in the 70s to now is what, about 50 years now? So I'm 50 years older. So I'm not as keen on the future as I was back then. I knew things was gonna be happening better for me. You know, like I say, we in the fourth turning. Everything beginning to unravel. We having crisis every day. So I don't know. You know, I'm just so disgusted with what's going on here. It's just not an easy thing to deal with. So I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about the electric cars that GM making. Everybody knows that GM is making all electric cars, and they say by 2035, that's all they're gonna make. General Motors, I mean, they the biggest. to me, because I drive a lot of my car I got now, General Motors, they're the biggest. And they're gonna go to all electric cars by 2035. So that's another reason that the oil companies are jabbing it to us, because they want to make that money now before they won't be making money on them cars, because that's a big chunk of cars that won't be using gasoline. And if you don't use gasoline, you don't need oil, stuff like that, gas prices. So they doing what cigarettes do. The cigarette companies, they jab it to you because nobody's buying it, so they just hike the price. Every time they lose somebody, we just hike a little bit more. And that's what's going to happen with this oil thing. We're not going to come out from under this oil thing in a good way. Let's see. Hey, Hoot Owl, how you doing? Let's see. Okay, I see you later. Miss Bell 269. You take care. And another thing, like I say, back in then, I knew people that was eating horse meat and they was selling it, and people was eating cat and dog food. It was crazy, They wasn't eating cats and dogs, but they was eating cat food and dog food, because these were like a lot of the older people. They didn't have a lot, and they most of them had lived through the Depression, so they knew what they were doing. They knew how to survive, and they did survive. It was crazy out there. Hey, Lori. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? The everyday life of an ODC chick. And like I say, it was crazy. It was crazy. And every time we had one of these high inflation periods like we got now, recession sets in. That's the only way to stop the inflation, is to have a recession. And that's because the government always caused the recession themselves by raising the interest rates and stuff like that. People not happy about it, but we're gonna hit a recession right after this. So please, people, history is repeating itself. Just go back, check your history on the 1970s, and you will see that right after all this, people making money, because the 70s was, to me, was a strike. Our garbage mans went on strike. My father's steel company went on strike because he worked for J&L Steel, which was part of Republic Steel. And the mailman went on strike in 70. I remember. I mean, I'm just saying, bus strike. We had the bus people go on strike. People was going on strike because they didn't like the meat prices. They didn't like the low income that they would get, and then they won a strike. The income just zoom. That's why you got these people out there making $25, $30 an hour now. Like I say, back then I was making $1.90 to $2.10. But now the same job, they paying $15, $16 an hour, and it's going to cause a lot of inflation, which is going to happen because that's the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I'm just saying that after this happened, they're going to have a big recession. So be ready. And when you have a recession, nothing good ever happened out of a recession. Nothing good already happened out of a recession. Let's see. Do you think the postal system would change, Grandpa? Oh, it's already changed. It was changing when I was there. We went from a great system to a system that counted peak. What do they call them? Counted pennies. We went from a service that we had to deliver all the mail every day, no matter what the cost or what the problem was, to just deliver this much mail a day. You see what I'm saying? They'll come through and tell you, well, because they had these little machines, these little handheld machines, and say, look, today I want you to deliver 6 feet of mail. Regardless of if you can take out 12 feet of mail, or all the mail that came in should always go out. They came in and say, no, this is what your productivity should be. We want you to do 6 feet of mail a day. And that's all you took was 6 feet of mail a day. And you got 6 feet of mail sitting on the floor that you're going to take out maybe the next day, because the next day you're going to get another 8 feet of mail. See, it's too much mismanagement in the post office. That's what they had to do. So post office already changed, so it's only going to get worse. The post office is going to end up being privatized down the road because it's a money maker. Everybody needs mail, and it's a money maker. As soon as these big corporate people, these big people like Bill Gates and Elon Musk and stuff like that decide to get their hands on it, you'll find out a big change because you can make millions, excuse me, with the post office, and they gonna privatize it in soon, and a lot of people gonna be so disappointed because there's a lot of private post offices out there. Matter of fact, the Canadian post office went private when I was working. Uh, Back then, about only meat you could afford was beef liver or fat back. Thank God we were raised on all meat. Man, we had a lot of bacon in. Back then, pork was cheap. Pork was cheap. I mean, it was like 39 cents a pound. Man, I ate a lot of pork. That's why I like pork today. I ate a lot of bacon. Biggest grits and bacon and eggs every morning. Every morning, my mother bacon and eggs. Like I say, it was good times, But I ain't had no bills to pay. When I was making that money, I'd go home and give my mom, dad some money, and the rest was mine. Remember your mailman at Christmas time? Yeah, with everyone that's gonna show up. I have problems with my mail. We have problems. We don't have the same mailman every day. I don't know why. But things, like I say, things change. Everything changed. I love people I used to work with. As a matter of fact, they still call me all the time. Some of them I can't even get in touch with it because I lost their numbers. But yeah, it's good. Just remember your mailman at Christmas time because a lot of times people don't even remember them. We got a guy who used to always say, make sure you bring the dogs in out of the cold, but the mailman is out there walking in the middle of 9 inches of snow. They don't even think about that. Yeah, like I said, I got a lot of stories for the post office, a lot of stories, a lot of good stories. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, like I say, they're gonna start with these electric cars in 2035. And like I say, in this last infrastructure bill that they just passed and they just signed, they have in there where they're gonna build 45,000 electric gas stations for those cars. You see, so they already had it planned before they even made or even General Motors even made the announcement that they were gonna have get the glare made the deal to start making all electric cars by 2035, which is not that far. What is this now? 2021, 14 years. So it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Oh, I don't know what that is. It's spam. Let's see. Lori, I have plenty of deer in the freezer this winter. True grandpa brother is a mailman. Yeah. Most respect for the mailman. Sorry, we were late, but had to Hey, Fallen Skies, how you doing? Hey, Donna, Divine Prepping, how you doing? Let's see. Hey, Tammy Lynn Styles, how you doing? Everybody jumping in late. That's okay. I don't mind people being late. Hey, Economic Prepper. Hey, Rachel Vanderpool. Let's see. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm gonna talk. I didn't have any set thing. I'm gonna just talk because a lot of things upset me with this stuff that's going on. I mean, there's a lot of strange things. I mean, I don't like a lot of strange things. I like things basically. The sun is in my eyes. See. Okay. I like things to be basically normal every day. What I mean normal, it's set, routine. And when things start happening like they're happening now, it reminds me of stuff that I went through back when I was younger. Like I said, I mean, when that hyperinflation or whatever they call it back in the 70s and the early 80s happened, it was just a mess. Like I said, we had three bad presidents back then. I mean, they were nice guys, Nixon, Ford, and Carter, but they just wasn't the people for the job. And that's what I think is happening now. I mean, Biden is a nice guy, but I don't think he's the man for the job to bring us out of this economic problem that we got because it's going to get worse. I mean, the banking system, everybody not watching the banking system, but them guys are crazy. See, I'm worried about he might do something like Nixon did. See, let me tell you, Nixon in 1971 took us off the gold system. See, that's when Americans used to be able to own gold and the money was based on gold. He the one that did this to us. He's the one that made this mess. we're no longer on the gold system. Our money is no longer backed by gold. So I don't know what it's backed by. I mean, so it's just crazy. Wow, I can see my eyes. Okay, anyway. So I don't know. I just hope this guy, don't do nothing like that. Don't make anything like that, because I remember back then unemployment was at 10%. I remember what I think back in 1982, I got married. I mean, we still had a lot of inflation, but it was shrinking. Reagan was president now, and in 1981 we had to live through Reaganomics, which let a lot of companies close up and go because they were trying to deal with this hyperinflation. And my company closed up, which wasn't one of them, but I was engaged to be married in 6 months. I had no job. It was crazy. And I'm getting married and we got a wedding to pay for. It was crazy. But luckily, I pray every night. God gave me a job. 6 weeks. 6 weeks before no, actually it was 2 weeks before I got married. I got a job. Stayed on that job for 5 years. And it was crazy. God was good. God was good. And like I say, we got married and been married ever since. I don't know what year this is. I'm just kidding. 2021, 1982 to 2021. And like I say, but sometimes a lot of people gonna suffer because of the economy and what's going on and the people that's trying to handle the situation. Like I said, I've been through it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that's younger, way younger than me, is gonna have to go through it too. AJH556, how you doing? Let's see. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Conscious grower. I thought I seen some. I seen conscious grower in the chat. Okay, here we go. Hey, prepared veterans, how you doing? Yeah. Hey, hey, Coupon Gale, how you doing, Coupon Gale? Let's see. Prepared veterans in the house. The whole world is faltering right now. Faltering. Yes, you're right. It is strange, see, because we didn't learn from history. We didn't learn. We was in such. I mean, everything was in such, good times. I mean, really, like I said, right after the 70s and early 80s and all that happened, things started getting better. Like I said, I was working a job, I was getting bonuses and all this stuff. And disco, disco came. I mean, I went to the clubs, disco came, and then we had rap music. Everything was doing good. Everybody was booming. We even got cable in Cleveland. See, we didn't have cable until the early 90s. We didn't have cable in Cleveland. It was new. But everything was good. And all of a sudden, we wake up one morning and we look at the TV and prices up 25% on beef, 60% on gas. Pork, bacon I used to get for like $2.99, $1.99 is like up to $5.99, $6.99. So it's a wake up call. And like I said, I'm just letting everybody know we'll survive this. We survived the other stuff before, but it's not going to be easy. Inflation right now is at 14%. I don't know about 14% because I lived through 15% inflation, and like I say, people was eating horses. They were eating horse meat, cat food, dog food. They were eating government cheese. I was eating government cheese. I love the government cheese. Got government butter. The government would hand out bags every week for people to come, and get and stuff like that. They had fruit and stuff in there. And like I say, we haven't had the resurgence of soup kitchens like we did back then. I mean, I know this is Thanksgiving, and a lot of people are feeding the homeless and the people that need to eat for this Thanksgiving. We have that every year, like at St. Rocco. But I mean, a lot of people are getting turkeys and stuff like that from the food bank today. But I'm just saying we haven't hit rock bottom, but we close to it. We still falling. We done passed, like we was on a high-rise building, and you keep passing all these windows and stuff like that on your way down, and you getting a glimpse of what's going on. We haven't hit that bottom yet. Hey, conscious grower, how you doing? I don't know what year. It is either grandpa, all that nonsense going on. Hard to tell what century in. Yeah, because it's political criminal. Oh man, don't get me started on politics. I try not to. I try to. Well, I've had to, but eventually because we got all these uh, big pharmaceutical companies that's trying to make more money on us by giving us extra. You know what I'm talking about? And then they hiking the food. You know what? Tyson Tyson chicken. They one of the biggest, if not the biggest, out there saying they're gonna have to hike the price of chicken again. They're gonna have to hike the price of all their food. And you know what I mean? And they said it's the cost of labor. I'm thinking, what the hell you talking about? Ain't nobody working there for what you telling us. And now you say it's the cost of labor. It is just crazy. I watch this stuff and people be lying in your face. And when people show you who they are, you best believe them. I don't care if they're politicians. I don't care if they're your friend. I don't care if they're the guy at the store. You know what I mean? If somebody show you who they are, you best believe them because that's who they are. Like people didn't believe Jeffrey Epstein was who he was until it was too late. So you gotta make sure you know your people. You gotta learn to read people. So anyway, like I said, the gas companies like the Bush family and all them other oil producing people, they out there trying to make money on this gas before the electric cars come and take over. That's my theory. That's what I'm thinking. They're gonna say we're gonna milk them for the next 15 years until they get all these electronic cars on the road because they got these car plants out there right now. Just that's all they making. We got one in here that's a Ford plant that's they making all these electronic cars and stuff. You look at commercials. When you look at a car commercial, look at it real hard, and you'll see most of them car commercials. They are pushing those electric cars. They got this one where this lady gave her father a gas card that he had gave her but she got an electric car, so she never used the gas card. So when his birthday came around, she gave it back to him. That's how it's gonna be. Let's see. Prepared Veterans says chicken has chicken here has been stable since the 80s. Let's see. The fever says $8.99 a pound. Woo wee. Bacon $8.99 a pound. I go into shock. I like my bacon. I like pork. $8.99 a shot. Wow. Well, like I say, this is crazy. Rachel Vanderpool says government cheese. Yeah, I remember that government cheese. Boy, I used to go in there, come home from work, be thinking about that government cheese all the time. Let's see. Coleslaw, $7.99 a pound. Wow. We make our own coleslaw from scratch. Cigarettes, 20 cents. Cigarettes, 20 cigarettes here are $12.80. Wow. See, I don't smoke, but I mean, my sister-in-law smokes. I never know how much a pack of cigarettes come from. Cause I stopped smoking when I was in junior high school, and then I never wanted to smoke because my father ended up getting lung cancer and dying from it. So that definitely made me not want to smoke. Red Road Homestead, how you doing? The liquid detergent here. Say drop family gardeners in the house. I'll pull pork sandwiches for lunch today. Eat that pork while you can because you know that fake meat is coming too. I mean, I'm telling you, by the 2030s, there's gonna be no real meat. There's gonna be no gas automobiles. They're gonna be how should I say? I ain't gonna say mega cities, but they're gonna be cities that you gonna have to have permits to live in. I mean, it ain't gonna be FEMA camps. I'm telling you, they chunked the FEMA camp idea a long time ago when we figured out they were gonna do FEMA camps, so they chunked it. Now, what they gonna do now? They gonna do these what I call them mega cities. They're gonna build these mega cities that you can only live in by permit because they're gonna be private cities because that's how they're gonna do it now. Hey, Dabrio Frog, how you doing? Let's see. Let's see. Let's hear you. I drop. Let's see. Coupon Gale. Okay. smoke either. It's an indicator of things along the gas line. Beer. Oh man, I hope they don't attack my beer, but beer gonna go up because the price of barley and hops and all that stuff is gonna go up too. I remember back in the day, you used to get a 6 pack of beer for like $1.99. That was the good old days. Yeah. So, like I say, anyway, uh, what's that? You, yeah, I'll raise hogs next year. That's a good thing. If you can raise your own vegetables and you can raise your own animals, it's good. But like I say, you know that's under attack. They don't want people to raise their own food, have a garden. They it's under attack all the time. They keep changing zoning laws all the time. Matter of fact, I don't know if Unpaid Explorer is still in the chat, but about a week ago, out there where he live at, somebody killed one of the deer. Somebody was hunting. They were hunting Metro Park in the Metro Park, and they killed a deer with a bow. But you're not supposed to hunt up here, even though they everywhere. They don't want you to hunt in the city, But he's in the suburbs a little bit, and they shot a deer up there off a stump road, and they trying to find these guys. But it's deer everywhere. You don't even have to hunt them. You just drive down the street and you hit one of them. Yeah. But like I say, I just wanted to know if he knew that because that's close to his house. Let's see. I feel pain. I used to carry the pots of meat to the house for mom and grandma to pack up. Yeah. Sure, I feel pain every year when my father used to tell me it's time to dig that garden up. We didn't have these, what they have, roller tillers now and all that stuff. I had a pitchfork. Man, we had a long garden too. We had a big garden that went all the way from the house to the garage. And it was like, I would say 8.5 feet wide to about, I would say 25 yards. Yeah, it had to be 25 yards long, not yards, but yards, 25 yards long and about 8 feet wide. And I had to dig that up every year. And we didn't buy fertilizer. He used to, in the wintertime, he used to let the dogs out. We had like 5 boxers. And he let the dogs out, and they would always go in that garden and over there and just shit. I said shit, but this is actual shit. Okay? So don't be mad if I say shit. Okay. Old man had hard work for grandpa. Yeah, oh yeah. I was a big kid. I was a big, strong kid. I was actually, I'm the biggest of all my brothers. I mean, I got a brother that's almost bigger than me, he's an older one, but I outgrew my brother said was in front of me. I outgrew him. They always say the littler one, the youngest one, always be the biggest one. That's me. I didn't miss a meal. Yes, Grandpa, deers are all in the backyard. I chased them out the garden to pass. Now I'm thinking about burgers. Yeah, deer meat. Because you get it if you can, get your real meat, freeze it, because like I said, they're gonna regulate it and we're gonna end up eating Soylent Green. I see that's coming down the line. I see they're gonna start regulating the meat. And it is nothing we can do about it. And I'm just saying like I said, we're in the fourth turning. You know what I mean? We passed the unraveling, now we're into the crisis. Every week it's a new crisis. Every week it's a new crisis. I got a phone call today earlier from Rite Aid. I'm on a robocall list, and they told me that I didn't get my flu shot. I know I didn't get my flu shot because I went to get my flu shot, and they told me I couldn't get no flu shot because they didn't have no place to give me the flu shot or something, because some with this other shot that they had, and it was all taking up all their space and time and stuff, so I couldn't get a flu shot. I used to just walk in and they shoot me and then I'm out. But now I can't get a flu shot, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. Hello, Urban Grandpa Pepper. How you doing? Oreo Moose 888. That's a very unusual name. That's a very unusual name. Yeah, we're kept back in perpetual state of suspense in fear, watching fear switch off the TV. Yeah, like I said, it's all this has happened before. Like I say, and like I said, I was sitting around the other day and I was thinking, shoot, I think I just did this. I had a deja vu moment. And like I say, and I remember, so like I say, Basically, from 76 to 83, inflation was kicking my butt, but I didn't even know it because I thought that's the way things were. I didn't know it was any better. I thought that was that is how things are. But then I learned over the years that that's not how things supposed to have been. You know, so I'm just saying, even though Reagan came in, I lost my job because he was fighting this inflation thing, and what he did worked, but it cost us down the line too, also with jobs. But I'm saying I don't think they're gonna do that here, but I think they are. I think that right after this hyperinflation thing, they don't call it hyperinflation. I don't even know what they call it here. What we're going through now. I think, like I said, the only way they're gonna stop it is that they're gonna cost a lot of people jobs, and that they're gonna have a recession. And I know a lot of you have been through recessions already. I mean, we've been through the housing recession, which self-created, you know, by the banks. We went through the credit union recession. A lot of people don't even know what a credit union was or a credit union is. I had my first bank account at a credit union, and like I said, and don't even get me started on when the auto industry in Wall Street was in a recession, was crashing and stuff like that, and we had to bail them out. And we bailed them out for like 5 years. People didn't even know that. It wasn't just one time bailout. Every year we were getting them trillions of dollars to pump into Wall Street to keep it up. Every year, trillions of dollars. And they didn't complain about that. But they complain about trying to help people that need help. They start throwing stuff out there that don't even make sense. But yet they get richer. And like I say, on this new infrastructure bill, you watch how much money get embezzled and stolen by these rich elite. Somebody's going to jail somewhere down the line because they're going to steal some of this money. That's why they passed this so fast. That's why they couldn't wait to get that one passed, because they see money. It's like watching an episode of like the HBO Sopranos, where these guys got their hands into everything, they got to get their cut. I love the Sopranos. But that's what it's like, these rich elite corporate maggots, or whatever you want to call them. I call them criminals, And like I say, it's just funny to me because, like I say, we did this all before, and it's gonna come back on us. Let's see what's going on in the chat, because they should just call it Grandpa cheating the American people. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Excuse me. Gardner. Yeah, I heard about the smallpox. Yeah, I heard about that too. In Philadelphia, they found some smallpox bottles. They small bottles marked smallpox in Philadelphia. But see, the problem: nobody's supposed to have smallpox. Nobody's supposed to have the vials. There's only two places in America. Two places in the world: America and Russia. The CDC. They got all kinds of diseases down there. I hope that place never blow up. They got all kinds of diseases down there, and then Russia got all kinds of diseases there too in their place. But what happened the last time they had those diseases in that place, and I mentioned that in one of my videos, but I can't say anything about it because I don't want to lose, get cut off. Let's see. Yeah, they found that out. The FBI gonna find out what's going on with that. Why was it in Philadelphia? Why was it even out of the CDC? They can't account for the people's money as it is. You're right, Donna. And like I say, this is just a license to steal. Oh man, the Illuminati and the Vandenberg Group and all these secret organizations, they just waiting because they're gonna make money on this. They always do. And like I said, long time ago in my other videos, see, I'm getting a little sidetracked here because I'm going to start talking about the rich elite and all this skull and bone stuff and the Vandenberg Group. Them people that you need to know about, like the Bushes, the DuPonts, the JP Morgans, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all of them. That's who controlled everything. And they ain't controlled by, no, you know what I'm going to say, lizard people. People out there saying, well, time to cut him off now. But I'm just saying, but it's just the way it is. They're working with the aliens because they got technology. On the 19th, we having a total eclipse of a red moon. I mean, they say this is going to be the longest eclipse that ever happened in 100 years. And I think I tried to tell Hutch the other day when we was on that live that the lizard people are on the move, which is true. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something to do with the moon or whatever, but they on the move. And they moving up this way. I don't know why they moving up this way. You know, I don't know. Maybe they got some kind of underground thing there. I think they head toward the Arctic Circle up there. Everybody know they got a base or something under that ice up in there, Antarctica. All right, but let's see. I done drifted again. Is the prepper hat or a hoarder hat? No, actually, I don't know if you can see this. See, it says Spitfire, and it's I guess of the panther is spitting fire. This. I got this hat when I was down in Atlanta. No, I got this hat when I was down in New Orleans. I was down there and they had the Buffalo Soldier Parade. They had a Buffalo Soldier Parade down there, and I got this hat and I got that other hat, and this one was part of the Tuskegee guys used to have some of these on the airplanes. It's a 369th. Yeah, so I got that. Yeah, this is where I got that hat. When I was down in New Orleans. Yeah, I was going to New Orleans this year, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. Prepper vet hat. Okay. Yep, Rockefeller Chase. 1,000 times years. Yep, these are people. Yeah, listen. Interdimensional. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yep. You could be right. I mean, we just test subjects. We could, like the one guy say, we could be just in a petri dish, just being tested. So let me go off script a little bit because, like I say, I didn't say it. The message I wanted to get out about this hyperinflation. Just beware because once it's over, and the only way they're gonna make it over is that they're gonna cause a recession. Just be ready for the recession. I don't know what they're gonna do something with the banking or whatever. But right after this, we're gonna head for the recession. It's coming. It happens every time. After we have a big inflationary period, recession. So I just want you guys to know. Now let me go ahead and start talking about this paradox right here. But they might cut me off in the middle because I'm going to start talking a little bit about the lizard people. And I'll start talking about their connection to the deep state that we have here because they control everything that goes on in the world, not just in America, but in the world. They control in China. China has a history of lizard people. It goes back to, like I said, biblical times. You go back to the times where you had Adam and Eve, and we had Adam and Eve and the snake. You see what I'm saying? They didn't say Adam and Eve and the cow. It didn't say Adam and Eve and the rat or Adam and Eve and the bunny. It said Adam and Eve and the snake. See, people think that we were created by the lizard people. No, we were not created by the lizard people. The lizard people were created by God. See, people say, "Oh, now you lost me." No, God created everything. I'm gonna just let you know right now. I mean, now we may have been manipulated by the lizard people. Maybe they might have been a little bit smarter than we are because they say the human brain is shrinking. They say that, and we do have lizard DNA. I mean, reptilian DNA. I mean, it's a fact. It's all science. Ain't that what they say? Follow the science. What I'm saying is that we was in the Garden of Eden. We was having a good time. We was chilling. We was running around naked. Free love. It was like the 60s. But anyway, and then all of a sudden, some snake in the grass, and you hear that term all day, all the time, came in and messed everything up for us. Just didn't want to see us happy. You got people out there right now that will mess up your thing because they don't want to see you happy. And so that's what happened. And then when we got out of the Garden of Eden, nobody really knows too much about what happened with us. But I'm just saying this. I bet those reptilians were still manufacturing stuff to mess us up. And they was doing stuff to our DNA. And that's why they've been punished. That's why they put them where they at underground. That's why they can't come from underground. Excuse me. That's why they've been there. Let's see. Hold up here. Couldn't log in. Thank you. bank this morning and wow. Yeah, I hope that don't really happen. I've been through one of those. Matter of fact, I've been through two of those where the ATM machines that went down here. Yep. Because they got us by, we controlled by AI. I'm not gonna try to talk about AI today because AI is listening, AI is controlling my channel. And so far so good. I haven't had buffering. I haven't had any issues with them telling me my signals was lost and stuff like that. I'm good. I'm good so far. But like I said, I'm gonna talk about these little people because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the stuff that we do, ever since the little people and Truman back in 47. See, the Truman document. It messed a lot of people up. I mean, we didn't know it at the time. See, a lot of stuff that they do for us then, we don't know how to impact it's going to affect us now. We learning that now, So, and when Truman made us the police force of the world, that messed us up. We get involved in stuff that we shouldn't even get involved in. But we can't help it because we signed all these packs and stuff like that, and then we would promise all this alien technology that we got and stuff like that. We made a deal with the lizard people, you know, That's why that was Bird went to Antarctica, you know, to find the lizard people and make some more deals. But anyway, that's a whole other story. And I'm just saying, this all stuff out there that we didn't know what was going on. We don't know what's going on now because they got secret files out there that was like the X Files. We just don't know. But like I say, the aliens out there research the underground base in Antarctica, alien structures under the ice. Yes, it's been under. Everybody knows under there. Everybody knows under there, but nobody seems to care. I mean, really, they done found spaceships and stuff over in Russia, over in China. Sorry, CH, that's not SH. China. They done found India. India got documented histories in their books, but everybody dismissed them as myth. I mean, somebody wrote all this stuff down, the battles in the sky and all this stuff. We wasn't even flying. We were still walking. I mean, but the Hopi Indians and all this stuff, but nobody seems to believe it, because we write it off. But suppose all of a sudden our generation and our history is gone tomorrow. So we get wiped out by some other plague, and all of a sudden everybody just die off. Like the Georgia Guidestone wanted us to do, and there's only a few people here, but nobody remember what's going on because nobody's around to teach the kids what's this stuff they see. They'll call this ancient artifact. They'll find the cell phone and say, "Wow, that's ancient technology." That's alien technology because they won't know what it is. And that's probably why they wiped everybody out with the flood. We had technology. Everybody talk about Atlantis. Atlantis. Maybe they're gonna be talking about us the same way. If something happened and these fools started to sit up there and start World War III and start shooting missiles and stuff up here, and boom, we all gone. I mean, we saving stuff. They got that big ark they built where they got all these seeds and DNA and of animals and plants and all this stuff. They built that ark. It's not in America. It's some other country. It's built into the mountain. That if we ever die off as a species, a race, they can bring that back out. But then they come out and they get old enough to start learning and reading. What they gonna know about us? They gonna think we were aliens. Oh, those people was from Mars or something like that. Because that's how things are. Long as we keep going, we know what's going on. But if something happened and we end up getting wiped off this planet, and only Elon Musk and his family and his crew is up there on Mars somewhere, we won't be remembered. We won't be remembered. So like I say, and then it's all because of these multinational conglomerates that's out there doing stuff. These big corporations, these big pharmaceutical companies, they making billions. Oh man, it's just sickening. They just sickening. They convincing people this, that, the other, and they just doing stuff to us. I mean, we used to be the auto industry, used to screw a lot of people, and now it's the big pharmaceutical companies. It's all these phone companies now. They figure out a way to scare people into doing things. You take 5G. I don't know what was wrong with 3G or 4G, but it's got to be 5G. And if you got a 3G phone, I think in January they're gonna send you a notice or something like that to let you know that your phone is no good. So you got to go buy one of them real expensive phones. So I miss my flip phone, man. I didn't have no problem with that. I miss it. It's just crazy, but that's the way things are nowadays. But you just do what you got to do. You just do what you got to do. So anyway, it's almost an hour, and I'm almost gonna wrap this up. Conscious and Guard said they're gonna cancel your 3G and 4G. You're right. They say in January they're gonna cancel it. They're gonna send you a notice and let you know. Companies are complicit in keeping us sick. You're absolutely right. They blame it on us, but they say everything we eat making us sick. But they the ones that manufacturing stuff we eat. So I'm just saying we can't win. You know, America is on an EKG machine, and they checking the pulse. They making sure we okay. But one misleading and misinformed thing happened out here that causes this country to collapse. You know, that's all it takes. Because like I say, then we be into a whole nother era. Like I say, we are already in a third age of man. I say that all the time. Let's see, we're being drip red tag. You say they're already talking to develop about 6, 7, and 8G. Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's just crazy out here. I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen. Like I say, I'm predicting this now that we're gonna have walled cities, city states. I'm predicting it now. And the only people can get in are the ones they invite. The rest of us are gonna have to fend for ourselves in the wasteland. We're gonna have to fend for ourselves in gangster states. That's what we call them. Because cities like mine and New York and all of them, they're gonna be run by the biggest gangs, big gangsters. Maybe 2 or 3 gangs might get together, the Bloods and Crips or whoever, the Mexican mafia and all them. They might get together, and run California or run New York or run Cleveland because they got hundreds of thousands of members. I ain't gonna say 10, 20,000 members. They got hundreds of thousands of members. And they consider themselves soldiers. So you figure it out. If they decide to organize and want to run things, it'd be something like what the Warriors. Warriors come out to play. And that's where we end up. Those of us that's going to be left in the cities because the rich elite going to just take off. They going to come back later after everything is destroyed and all the people have reached the number that the Georgia Guidestone has set for them, and there you go. See, I don't know how they figure it out, how they gonna do this stuff. I don't know if they're gonna have like a crystal ball, as they say, or they got somebody like a Nostradamus let them know what to tell people, what to do to people, but we're gonna be messed up. Social disruption, false information is damaging. Yep, that's what we're gonna have. We definitely gonna have that, and it's really nothing that you can do about it. Because like I say, other than going through a wormhole or something to another dimension or do some quantum leaping or something like that, we gotta sit here and just deal with it because we are normal, everyday working class people, which is gonna be like the dinosaur. Working class people are gonna be a thing of the past. We're gonna be history. Matter of fact, we live in history now. This is a dark period in American history. I'm not gloom and gloom. I'm just saying, you go to the store and you tell me. I want to see the next time you go to the store and you pick up some hamburger and you take it to the register and it's like $7.99 a pound, and I want to see you smile about it. Thank you, thank you. No, no, this is a dark period in our time. This is a dark period in American history. Really, really. I mean, I thought when they hit hyperinflation back in the 70s was a bad time. I mean, I had great times. I used to go out to clubs and all that stuff when I was young, but I was young and I knew things were gonna get better down the line because I could outlive it. At least that's what I thought. But now I know I'm not gonna outlive this stuff because this stuff is terrible. You know what I mean? It's really terrible out here. All right, then I see you, Fever. Yeah, it's been an hour. I'm about to cut it down too. And I'm gonna go out and out of here. Hey, Iris Smith, how you doing? Yeah, see, I hear you, Grandpa. They used to have a lot of clubs here in Cleveland. Oh, don't tell me about it. I can name the clubs. Man, I used to spend a lot of time at the Happy Apple. I used to spend a lot of time at Vale, especially Vale's. Man, whoo, man. I used to go a whole bunch of places, especially down the flat, the Delta Club. I mean that's back me. That's back in the day. Yeah, used to do a lot of clubbing back in the day. Then we had cabarets. I don't know if you guys know what a cabaret is. That's when they sell tickets and they have music and you bring your. It's BYOB. They just had you a place to go to do your own thing. BYOB. Bring your own bottle. We used to go there. Yeah, a lot of cabarets. Well, anyway, like I said, I done talked about the lizard people a little bit, and I just want to make sure that everybody know that they're behind a lot of this stuff, and we might not even realize it in our lifetime, but our children will, and our grandchildren will, because everything you do in the dark is gonna come to light, and they will find out somewhere down the road that we were actually being controlled, that a lot of things that our leaders did was because of them. You know, because of the deep state, because of the 50s, 40, 50-year old politicians, that was doing this stuff. You look at some of them guys that's in office now, some of them guys was in office then. You see what I'm saying? They know about this hyperinflation stuff, and they just repeat the history. That's all I wanted to say. Yep, and they working with the aliens. A lot of them are. So they don't care. They don't care about people. They don't care about nothing but money. Now I see where they make it sure that everybody gets the shot. All right, then. All right, then. I'm gonna make me some shoes, belt for these lizards. Yeah, you better leave them lizards alone, man. I don't know what their deal is, but I know I ain't gonna mess with those lizards because they might be like alligators. You don't fool with an alligator. You know. But then he got them guys in Florida that wrestle alligators all the time. I don't know what it is. All right, then, but look, I say I didn't talk long enough, and I'm gonna let everybody go. I talked about an hour. I didn't want to talk and uh, tie up everybody's day because I know people got things to do, and I just want to make sure that everybody understand that we going through this inflationary period right now. We did it before, we doing it again now, and I want to make sure that everybody was entertained. So I talked about my lizard people, and the next time I might even talk about the stuff I learned from reading about this quantum physics and the black holes and all that other generation stuff. Okay, then I will see everybody later. Hey, Spud, how you doing? Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing. They play, like I said, like I always say, you do things because they can, and that's what they do because they can. Not that they should have. They just want to do it because they can. All right, I'm out. I'll see you guys later.